Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the USGS Global Webinar. Our featured speaker today has a PhD in civil engineering from a prominent university in London. He started off in the thriving IT industry and eventually ventured off on his own as a technopreneur. To date, he has owned and operated a few IT-related businesses, of which the longest running is in its 19th year. Despite being successful in his pioneering endeavor, he has not been able to achieve his ultimate dream based on his 3 stages towards nirvana of business success. His passion, however, was rekindled upon discovering this amazing platform that he is about to share with you. Please welcome Dr. Julian from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Hello. Hello to everyone watching from around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you wherever you are. A very warm welcome to this special edition of this webinar with special focus, with extra focus on India. So to all our Indian friends out there, namaste. But don't worry, for those of you that may not be in India, what I'll be covering tonight is also going to be very relevant to you. So first off, let me just give you a little bit of sharing about myself. My name is Dr. Julian Chua. I'm coming live to you from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And I got into this business about 4 years ago. And it was actually through the introduction of my wife. Maybe I'll come back to it towards the end because we actually have 2 guests later on. And then I'll go on to share my story further on from there. First off, I want to acknowledge you for being with us here today and to actually congratulate you for being here because the friend that invited you on thinks highly of you because you are a person that likes and loves to help others. Today, I'll be sharing with you a vehicle, a global platform that is going to help you enrich even more lives and to even empower yourself to even greater heights in your own lives. Be open-minded because I will not be the only one sharing. As I mentioned, later on in this session, I will actually invite 2 guests from different parts of the world to share their amazing journey in this platform. These entrepreneurs, plus countless of others around the world, are achieving tremendous success in a platform called Jeunesse Global. Jeunesse itself is a French word. Let me bring up the presentation for you. Jeunesse itself is a French word. It means youth in French. However, it's an American company. It's still a relatively young one at almost 9 years of age, but it's already making waves in the global business community. To begin, let me share with you my thoughts on global convergence and how this company, Jeunesse, is riding its tremendous wave. As you know, the world that we live in has figuratively shrunk due to advancements in technology and the ever-increasing connectedness of humans around the world. And a great case in point is our smartphones. Smartphones are getting better and better every season, and it allows us to connect with anyone around the world instantly. In fact, in 1929, a Hungarian author by the name of Corinthi Frigyes wrote a short story entitled Chains. In this story, he outlines that we are all interconnected via each other through just 5 associations. This theory has actually been put through the test of time and has actually been shown to be true. However, this figure does not stand at 5 associations anymore, according to Mark Zuckerberg, based on a study done about almost 2 years ago on, at that time, 1.5 billion active users on Facebook. That at that point in time, that number has already dropped to an average of 3.5 associations. So in this digital era, and with the exponential growth rates of technologies around the world is giving rise to what is called the new economy. Examples of the new economy would be companies like Uber and Airbnb. If you know these companies, they are relatively young as well, very similar in age to Jeunesse at about 9 to 10 years of age. But today, they are making a big wave in the global business community as well. These companies are essentially connecting customers to their relevant services in this digital age. And because of that, they are able to do it at a fraction of a time that would take a traditional company or a legacy company that we see in the world today. So today, what I would like to do is to actually share with you the platform on how you too can capture this new economy to build a global business of your own, and in hence doing, to be architects of your very own lives. But before I do that, let me first introduce to you our founders as an integral part to the success of this amazing platform. This is Randy Ray, Wendy Lewis. They are technologists. Randy is a computer whiz, Wendy Lewis, a mathematical genius. The two of them, in fact, were retired before Jeunesse, and that's what I love about our founders. You know, their hearts were in the right place with regards to the setup of Jeunesse. Jeunesse was born because they want to help empower other people to be successful, like you and I, and also to actually help poor children around the world through the Jeunesse Kids program. Randy and Wendy, they've owned a very successful companies. In fact, many very successful businesses in their lifetime. And one of them is actually called Alpha Computer Services, ranked 187 out of the top 500 private listed companies in the US. So as you can tell, they were already very successful. They, in fact, had to come out of retirement to set up Jeunesse. And the reason, as I mentioned earlier, was to actually help other people because they've been tremendously blessed in their own lives. Through this company, Alpha Computer Services, they actually worked on a project with NASA to the tune of 1 billion US dollars. They provided hardware and software integration solutions to help send satellites into space for NASA. So as you can tell, they're already very well off in their own lives. Scott Lewis is our Chief Visionary Officer. He's young, he's very dynamic. He has the foresight and the vision that has actually brought Jeunesse to its great heights today. So Jeunesse, in a relatively short time span of just almost 9 years, we have already spread into 156 countries where we actually drop ship the products throughout the world. And India is a very, very new market. And just as a comparison, Uber is about 9 years, actually it's just over 9 years old. It started in March 2009, and it's in about over 80 plus countries. Airbnb, it's 10 years old today, and it's in about 119 countries. So you can see the speed at which Jeunesse is growing, which is at 156 countries today. So today we actually have more than 34 global offices, you know, India being one of our latest new office based in Gurugram in India, in New Delhi itself. So why India? Why now? Well, Jeunesse India started its operation in September of last year in 2017 with the arrival of the products in its marketplace. As I mentioned, you know, the heart of the founders are in the right place with regards to Jeunesse. Even before the company or even the founders were able to actually generate an income from India itself, the company and its business partners around the world had already raised 339,000 US dollars that has gone to the We Village in India to support poor children in India. And we've been doing this around the world as well. So now back to the question, why India? Why now? Well, India is one of the fastest growing developed countries in the world. In fact, it is the fastest at this point in time at a GDP growth rate of 7.7%. It was forecast at 7.3, but it's actually beating the forecast. And Prime Minister Modi is expecting that the growth rate for India is going to jump into the double digit by 2020, and that's not far off. It also has the second largest population after China at almost 1.3 billion in terms of population, and is expected as well in the next 3 years or so, it's potentially going to overtake China in terms of population. It also has the largest middle class, standing at 267 million in 2016. And by the year 2021, this figure is also expected to double up. So there is a huge market in India itself. India is a very exciting time to be in India, you know, for all of you in India and for all partners that have links to India. Why? Because it is going to the kind of growth rate that we saw China underwent the last 2 decades. And that's the kind of growth rate that we will be seeing very soon in India. India has also the largest non-resident population in the world. And what that means is that no matter if you're not in India chances are you will find Indian nationals working around you, and that is how you are able to actually start to build the Jeunesse business in India through them, by them bringing back this opportunity back to India, and it's then going to start to grow outside of around the world as well from that point on. Well, demonetization took place at the end of 2016, and this exercise alone, it's actually helped move the country towards the digital economy. At most people today have a bank account, they have a debit card, and even in India, they have had e-wallets since 2010. And one of the pioneer e-wallets in India is Paytm, which has recently, SoftBank has also put in a huge stake in that company itself. So there's tremendous potential growth rate in the digital economy in India. GST implementation took place last year. And also this essentially unifies taxation right across the country, which is going to make it easier for, to actually build the market in India in itself. Companies like Walmart entered India because of the GST implementation. The Indian government has actually released new DSI guidelines that also is going to support the growth rate of our industry. Prior to this, it was, our industry was monitored under the price chits monetary regulations, which unfortunately was just too vague for our industry. Now with this new guidelines in place, it is very exciting times for India. It's only going to help explode the market in our industry in India itself. So Jeunesse, in a very short time, we've actually hit the $1 billion mark, even in 2015. And that was like 3 years ago. The last year, we actually hit 1.3 billion. So we continue to be a $1 billion business from this point on. And just to give you an idea, let's see how many companies that are achieving 1 billion in their 6th year, because Jeunesse achieved their first billion in 2015 in their 6th year. So companies like Apple and Facebook, and I'm sure all these companies are recognizable. Amazon did it in 4 years, eBay in 7, Google 5 years. It essentially places Jeunesse in the same league as these global giants. So Jeunesse continues to be in the top 1,000 fastest growing companies in the US for the 4th consecutive year. So amazing growth rate, and the company is actually doing it at a tremendous pace that is actually winning awards, tremendous awards, and is also breaking records after records in our industry. So we actually started in 2009. By 2012, in its 3rd year, the company already broke the 100 top, DSN companies in the world. It's not a small feat by any means. And today, we continue to remain in the top 20 global rank in our industry, which for a company at almost 9 years of age, it is a tremendous feat in itself. Jeunesse has won, this is outdated, 434 awards. And I'm sure that figure in itself is already outdated. And it's also garnered very, very prestigious awards like the Stevie Awards. These awards are like the Oscars, but for the Fortune 500 companies in the US. In fact, in 2018 alone, we actually garnered 12 of these awards, one in the grand category, which is the best of the best category, 6 gold, 1 silver, and 5 bronze. And this year in 2018, Jeunesse ranks amongst the top 3 award winners in the industry. Well, even our founder, Wendy Lewis, this is last year, in 2018, she has gone on to win 5 Women World Awards as well. And she's been doing it for the last 4-5 years running. So we have a tremendous management team behind Jeunesse. So the foundation of this business is actually built on this youth enhancement system. YES for short. Jeunesse takes a unique, holistic, and synergistic approach to its product range, whereby they work not only from the outside in, but also inside out, targeting specifically cellular aging. And we are actually talking about such advanced stem cell innovations as cellular rejuvenation, DNA repair, gene expression, telomere maintenance. It's just to give you an appreciation in terms of how advanced the products in Jeunesse truly are. And the best part about what I love about the products is that they are backed by world-renowned medical advisors, some of whom have Nobel Prize nominations And some of the formulations have Nobel Prize wins behind them as well. And as you can tell, the product categories that Jeunesse is in, which is all in the anti-aging industry, it's in the multi-billion-dollar industry. So the market in itself is just tremendous. And the best part about this industry, it's an evergreen industry. Just as long as we have humans in this world, there'll always be a need for all these sort of products as well. So these are the scientific advisory board behind Jeunesse. Dr. Newman, he's a world-renowned dermatologist, cosmetic surgeon. He has a private clinic in Beverly Hills where he treats the rich and famous. He has pioneered and created one of amazing products, a couple of amazing products that we have here in Jeunesse, which I will share after this. Dr. Vincent Giampapa, I just want you to recall his name. Papa is a universal name for father, right? He so happens to be also the father of anti-aging. He was the first president and the founder of the Anti-Aging Medicine Association Medicine in the US. Anyone that comes into this industry essentially sits for his exams. He was nominated a couple of Nobel Prizes in the area of stem cell research, and he was also the nutritional consultant to NASA. And that's actually how the founders of Jeunesse got to know Dr. Giampapa. Their friendship grew, and they're in this amazing venture today together in Jeunesse. Dr. William Amzelak, he has decades of medical experience. He recently published a book entitled The Promise of Immortality. If you want to find out more about that topic, check out episode number 19. Episode number 19 on our Jeunesse longevity YouTube channel. Okay, there are actually about 27 channels that Dr. William Amzelak goes through the detailed science behind each and every product that we have in Jeunesse. Dr. Donna Anta, she has a master's in exercise physiology. She's a much sought after speaker in the medical industry, plus also in our industry. So Luminance is one of our flagship products. I do not have time, unfortunately, to go through each and every product that we have in Jeunesse, but I'm going to share with you two flagship products in Jeunesse and what I feel is going to be the third as well. So the Luminance range is actually produced by Dr. Nathan Newman. And what's unique about our Luminance series, I would prefer to call it a skin treatment. Why? Because the product actually works. Most skincare products, they tend to work on the surface of our skin, whereas our Luminance series, the serum in particular, it actually works from the inside out at the cellular level. Why? It contains 200 plus growth factors. And these growth factors are essentially the chemical language used by our skin cells to communicate with each other to rejuvenate and repair itself. Each of these growth factors have specific function, like the rejuvenation of blood vessels in our skin, the reproduction of collagen, baby collagen, the elasticity of our skin, and so forth and so on. In our skin, naturally, all of us, when we are younger, we have about 268 of them. But as we age, it starts to decline. And this is what our Luminance products does. It adds these growth factors back into our skin. So this is a third-party independent test conducted by ST&T Research. People that tested the products didn't even know what product that they were testing and where it came from. 100% of people that tested the products said that they would highly recommend them to family and friends. It's so effective because the lowest reading is at 74%, felt an improvement in skin firmness. 87% said that their skin looked younger, their skin had improved in terms of smoothness and also luminosity. And here are some dramatic before and after results that you can see here. So when products are actually hitting 50% and above in the marketplace, the products are actually flying off the shelf in the marketplace itself. So amazing at 74% and beyond. Now, this is Weenie, okay? She's one of the first 5 that started this business. She's one of the pioneers in Jeunesse. Almost 9 years ago, being the oldest in that group of 5 at the age of about 62 plus at that point in time, she was very brave to try the Luminance serum, which for them, it was untested. She tried it on one half of her face. Give a guess which side she tried it on. If you guessed it shown here on the left, which is the right side of her face, you would be correct. Because if you look at her eye bag, it's actually almost diminished in terms of our IBEX. The age expression lines, as you can see here, are practically gone. But more importantly, if you look and examine the contours of her face, you will see that this side, shown here on the right, is actually sagging quite dramatically compared to the left. So she was so excited after using this and getting this results after about 10 weeks. She dashed to see a friend of hers, someone that specializes in skin cancer. And he says, yes, I can clearly see the difference. It's like day and night. But instead, let me examine under your skin. So what he did, he used a dermatoscope, examined both sides of her skin, and he was shocked to find baby collagen growing naturally on the side that she was using it on. So it's worthy to note, after the age of 20, we already slow down the production of collagen in our skin. After the age of 30, we stop producing them entirely. So don't you think it's amazing for a lady at the age of 62 to have them grown back naturally? And don't you agree that's the best way to start looking younger? So now we come to the reserve, and reserve is more of a supplement. And what's unique is actually is comprised of all these 7 key ingredients. It's in the form of a very tasty gel. It comprises of cherry juice, grape extract, aloe vera, pomegranate, green tea, blueberry, and acai berry. If you know your nutrition, you would understand that these are all considered superfoods. Why? They are very, very high in antioxidant. You see, the key to reserve is that it actually helps to defend and to keep our cells healthy. And how it does it is that it protects it through oxidative stress, inflammation, and inflammation is a silent killer, and glycation. And glycation is essentially the sugar levels in our body. So it's fantastic for, say, type 2 age-related diabetes. So if you have that, give it a try. It actually helps penetrate into our cells because it's gone through third-party independent CAP-E tests. And basically what it measures is how much of all these antioxidants, including the key ingredient, which is resveratrol, is able to penetrate into our cells to work towards creating healthier cells in the process, without which it will not be able to do that function. And the results are just amazing. It was the highest that the laboratory ever achieved on any products it tested at over 90%. So the bioavailability is extremely high. So it's also not only works through fighting the aging process through the 3, as I mentioned earlier, oxidative stress, inflammation, and glycation, it actually also activates our longevity genes. Resveratrol was actually discovered by Professor David Sinclair in early 2000. And essentially, he did thousands of tests to see which compound has the ability to activate the longevity genes called the SIRT1 gene. And he discovered it in red wine. And red wine has about 1 milligram of resveratrol in each bottle of red wine. Whereas what we have in reserve, we have about 186 milligrams of resveratrol in one single sachet without the damaging alcohol that goes with it as well. So RevitalBlue, as I mentioned, is one of the most exciting products that we just came into Jeunesse. We launched it first here in Malaysia on the 28th of April. And essentially, it's created by America's leading stem cell scientist and botanical researcher. His name is Christian Dropo. A lot of you may recognize him. He's world-renowned, not just in America, but world-renowned. And essentially, he's introduced 4 key ingredients in RevitalBlue. Afenizone Menon Floss Aqua, which is a blue-green algae, sea buckthorn, aloe vera, and it's not any aloe vera. There are only 2 extracts that does this function that I'm about to describe to you, and beta-glucan. Essentially, what all these ingredients, blue-green algae, the AFA, sea buckthorn, and aloe, what it does is that it supports the natural renewal and repair system of your own body. And actually how it does that is that by taking these 3 ingredients, it actually releases more adult stem cells, up to 40% more adult stem cells from our bone marrow that will go into our blood circulation. And essentially, to remain healthy, it's actually to create a state of balance, homeostasis. We are losing about 50 billion cells every single day. And to stay healthy, we need to replenish them. And how we replenish them is, and the best way to do it at this point in time is by taking the supplement like RevitalBlue, where it actually increases it by an additional 40%, which amounts to about 10 million extra stem cells in your own blood circulation. And people that contract health problems, they have on average half the number of stem cells compared to healthier people. So if there's a means for you to actually increase the stem cells in circulation, you are bound to be healthier. And beta glucan, essentially what it does, it helps it migrate all the stem cells to migrate to any tissues and organs that requires the additional support. So amazing product. It's very exciting because it's going to bring the company into the 2 billion mark and beyond. So besides all the amazing products that we have here in Jeunesse, we have actually an amazing business opportunity behind Jeunesse as well. And we have actually 6 streams of income in this platform. The first 2 streams are linear income. Linear income in itself will not make us wealthy because we are essentially trading time with linear income. So if you want to earn more in life, if you want to be financially free, we want to be earning a leverage income. And this is where the next 4 streams of income from 3 to 6 comes into play. So let me go through each in turn with you very quickly. So the first income, because when you start off in this business, being an e-commerce business, you will already have your own personalized website. So when you start a business, you're likely to share it with your friends and family. So when they start to visit your website and they purchase the product off your website, you are going to make the difference between wholesale and retail, a difference of maybe in India, probably about 20%. So the second stream of income is called the first sales target bonus. So these packages are available to us one time only, the first time when we kickstart the business. For those of you that wants to try out the products, we have the basic and the supreme packages. And the beauty with these packages, they are below wholesale price. So when you start off just to try out the products with a basic or supreme, is actually going to generate points, commissionable volumes, as you can see here. But for those of you that are very interested in the business aspect of what Jeunesse has to offer, go with the jumbo, but better yet, go with the ambassador package, because the ambassador package today is also called the founders package. You will be a founding member of India, and there's tremendous benefit towards it. So if you refer back to the friend that invited you to this webinar to know more about the founders package. But essentially, when a business partner of yours comes in with an ambassador package, the company is going to award you and your new partner $250 commission. So they themselves are also going to get a rebate on the products that they've purchased. So this is where things gets really exciting, because this is called the weekly team commissions. In this business, it's very simple. Say that's you. All of us are actually building 2 global teams, one on the left and then one on the right. As soon as we bring in our new business partners into our left and right teams accordingly, they will then go on to do the same. They will then bring in their business partners will bring in their business partners, you continue to do the same, they will do the same. And over time, your organization, your teams, your 2 global teams are growing at an exponential rate. So every time your new partner comes in, they will be coming in with a package. And every package has points that are being generated. And essentially, all the points are going to stream up to you from your left team and on your right team. And when there's 300 points on the weaker side of your teams and 600 on the stronger, the company is going to award you 1 cycle commission of $35. So after conversion into Indian rupees, it's 2,275 rupees. I know for some that, especially those that are in business or are professionals, maybe $35 do not excite you. But the best part is that, as our team starts to grow over the weeks, over the months, and especially, can you imagine, over the years, and it's growing at an exponential rate, we are going to start to generate more and more cycles. So the company has to set a cap. And that cap is at 750 cycles, which when you max out on this plan alone, the weekly team commissions, your weekly income is going to amount to $26,250, which is just amazing, because this is about half what an average family in the US would earn an entire year that you and we have the ability to earn in a single week. That is just tremendous, because that would convert to about 17 lakhs in terms of income from this stream of income in itself. And if you think that this is unrealistic, well, in Jeunesse, there are many partners, especially the top leaders, that are already starting to max out on this compensation plan. Obviously, there are no income claims whatsoever. It's all very dependent on our effort and that of our team. So the leadership matching bonus is where things gets really exciting, because if you think 26,250 may not be enough for you, well, because the previous one had a ceiling. The leadership matching bonus, there's no ceiling whatsoever. We can bill however wide and we can bill however deep. So everyone that you personally brought into the business, they are considered your level one. And based on your rank in this business, you will start to override your level one at 20%. So every time you go out, you teach them on how to earn on their team cycle commission of $35. When they earn each cycle, the company is going to provide you an additional 20%. That is $7. At level 2, it's at 15%. That's $5, 25 cents. Level 3 is at 10%, so it's $3.50. And the next 4 levels at 5% each. I know it may not seem like a lot, but can you imagine when your team size grows dramatically, they are going to start to cycle more and more. And this is truly a purely leverage, residual income. And this is not just in India, not just in Malaysia for me, it's around the world. So the fifth stream of income is called the distributor retention and productivity incentive. Essentially what it means is that for people that are doing the business, they are doing that monthly recursive orders, or for those that are really fervent customers, when you have 5 or more of these customers, instead of generating 20% from your level 1, the company is going to award you 25%. And when you have 10 or more, then the company is going to award you 30%. And it's actually relatively quick to get up to 30%. So the last stream of income is the most exciting, because all of us are working towards this stream of income. Have you ever imagined to be a shareholder of, in this case, $1 billion business, and it's going to grow into a multi-billion dollar business soon enough? Can you imagine that? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Well, the company is, what the founders are very generous. They take 3% of global sales volume and places that into what is called the diamond bonus pool. And it's paid out to diamond directors around the world every quarter, prorated. And this income in itself is just phenomenal. My apologies there. So beyond the incomes, we also, as I mentioned, in order to earn the kind of incomes that I just mentioned, the first 6 streams of income, we have to work hard, okay? And our team has to continue to do that, and we build the team accordingly. But in Jeunesse, we don't only work hard, we play hard as well, because we have tremendous incentive trips around the world. And next month, for a lot of us, and in 5 different regions, we are celebrating our 9th year anniversary. So for us here in Asia, we will be traveling to Bangkok. And for, and essentially, there are other 4 regions that I will not mention here. They're fantastic personal training, because if you want to earn more in life, we have to become better versions of ourselves. So the company provides us all the necessary training to build character, to build us as individuals to be great leaders in the company. And the best part is that this is truly a global opportunity. So this is your opportunity to catch the new paradigm, to actually leverage on the proven system, catch the trends that we have here in Jeunesse by leveraging also on the cutting edge technology, the products that we have that are backed by world-renowned medical advisors. Most of us, we would never on our own be able to work with such people of such caliber. But here in Jeunesse, it's all about leverage. The key word is leverage. And we are also leveraging on a global economy, on a platform that allows us to grow global. It provides us the flexibility over time to not only create financial freedom for ourselves, but ultimately the time freedom to go with it, for us to be able to spend more time with our loved ones. So I hope to actually see you and welcome you into our global community soon.